Sandals and shorts, and surf, and scuba, and sand, and sailing, and soccer. San Diego, California.
Season's greetings and welcome to Too Long to the Mic 297 weeks in a row. This time without a Chiba once again, as he is in Japan. In here for the Chiba role, we have Abraham Cepeda. Welcome.
Hello.
We're going to start with San Diego FC. As San Diego FC gets its revenge game against Houston Dynamo, we'll have the CHROMANIACS, Alex Pena, and the great and powerful Greg Elston join us for that discussion, as like everybody's on a different point on the Pellegrino apology tour. What does this mean for the final regular season game against Portland and San Diego Wave? We have to talk about it because it was one of the most painful couple of minutes of just soccer I've witnessed in that last game. San Diego Wave lose
in stoppage
time after tying in stoppage time 2-1 against Washington Spirit. Those gaffs and greats. We got a good batch here as well, and want to thank everybody who is joining, not from Japan and from wherever it is that you are, because it's very important to go ahead and have a representation. Thank you everybody who joins us on a weekly basis. So with that, look, SDFC is the big story. So as they continue breaking records, the greatest potential expansion team of all time.
I think they already are, technically, with wins and points wise. I think
technically
fair to say, yeah.
We'll see what Mikey Vadas has to say about that.
Oh,
Ask him in the post match. So we'll talk about that and everything else. But first, let's go ahead and welcome. I usually would do a post match, but I said, hey, look, Chivas in Japan. My voice, as you can maybe hear, maybe we're not, like, it's not the best. So let's get some more voices. So we're going to go ahead and bring on from Thursdays and post matches here on San Diego Football, Alex Pena and Greg Elston, the CHROMANIACS.
Oh, wow. That was nice.
That was fancy.
Yeah. I liked it. Good stuff. I mean, that intro already. Like, holy cow. That intro is sick. Is it better than the show some weeks?
No. Because you do the intro, Craig.
No, I mean, just I loved the video. The video was so good. All the sharp cuts, like the ball, and then it goes into the throw in. Like, damn.
Craig is a pod listener. That's
I am.
Pod listener right there. Yeah. Okay. I'll work on something for CHROMANIACS. It's I'll work on cooking some things.
I think it's so good. It's really, really good. I'm quite impressed.
You don't know how giddy that makes me. It's for the breathing, just like, yeah.
I usually, you guys pop into my phone. That's how I usually listen to Two Balls and a Mic. It drops into me little phone app. So now seeing that, I'm just I'm excited. I'm titillated. I'm happy to be here. Gentlemen, it's good to see you. Abe, it was good to see you at Bottle Rocket.
Yes. That was a fun night.
Yeah.
Forget about the next day, but that was a fun Wednesday.
Game was a good one. Game 2 was a good day. Wednesday night was a good night. or good day, I guess, for Padres baseball, and the rest shall not be said. And here we are with SDFC. Gentlemen, it's great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. And Real Swing and Friar, we just World Cup credentials was something we'll talk about in a couple of weeks. Just that date is coming, and that's why we started this podcast to begin with. But for right now, San Diego FC is the main story that we are covering here. And with that, let's talk some San Diego FC with. I wonder if Craig like maybe hears this, but no, there's intros too. Bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, normally when I hear that, I just think like you stole something from Where in the World is Carmen San Diego or something. It sounded like some PBS action music.
Exactly where he would try and like look for and find that.
It's
that
actually
stuff.
it's actually the main theme song for Metal Gear Solid 1. Tactical. You guys are on the right. Everything that I play has a reason that makes me giggle to me, and I never explain it to anybody. So here it is. I love this. But San Diego FC going away for the penultimate time over into Houston, a revenge game. This is essentially maybe what exposed a little bit of San Diego FC to begin with, and they had a couple of rough bumps from then on. But they go over and win 4-2 in a match that, we were talking about in the CHROMANIACS, guys, and just talking about it in general, like it was a must win. It was a must win for San Diego FC, big picture wise. And what did you guys think about just the overall lineup to even begin with for San Diego FC, which, started not Pellegrino and Corey Baird made an appearance up there.
We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks to see kind of a little bit of a change up top with Corey Baird. He kind of provides you a little bit of a different look for Houston, and someone that Houston is actually familiar with. So that was a good change. And then what we've seen consistently out of the midfield is Valakari in there, Yepe and Godoy. It kind of seems like that's the new normal now of with Luca De La Torre on the bench. And you know what, the back line was kind of interesting. The McNair out and Dua was in, and I think that might have worked a little bit better than but McVay was like the consistent of didn't have the best of games, but you don't know that when you're preparing a lineup. And but it's good to see Dua still in there in a center back role.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think we all said we'd like to see Corey Baird get a start. And so I was very curious to see if he would create that gravity in the 9 position. And, generally the answer was no. And other than that, I thought it was of interest, Vasquez not playing and also seeing that Dua got that start at center back again. But I figured that was in part rotation and in part performance. He's been really, really good almost every time he's been there.
Yeah, and I think Aiden Harangui's kind of proving himself also as a solid backup. I know you don't have Luca Bombino right now, and you kind of just need an outside back out there, and he's been performing pretty well. I think he had some really, really good defensive moments as well.
Yeah, and I mean, even to begin with, right? Like we were talking about how San Diego FC needed to get up early and needed to score early in the first 15 minutes. Houston actually had been giving up a lot of goals, and they kind of put the Uno reverse card on it and score within the first 15 minutes against San Diego FC. And I actually texted the group. I'm like, hey, so like, what does it mean when they score in the first 15 minutes? What does the playbook say there? But look, Houston in a must-win situation, and you can feel it, which I like because this is a real playoff atmosphere for San Diego FC and Mikey Varas. This is a real test. And to go away, to go and, potentially have that in the back of the mind of the greatest expansion team of MLS in history that has to be factored in there as well. So overall, I think it was a great performance in the way that they were able to bounce back, but that first half was a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, it was. It was. It's difficult when you can't. It looked like everything was kind of going to plan, especially in like the first 15 minutes. The flow, which is a double entendre there, right? That's what they like to be known. It Everything was flowing as it should, right? The ball was going from back line to the midfield, out to the front line, but they just couldn't finish. They weren't really getting shots off in the first 15. And then all of a sudden, once you're kind of put back into a corner, that's when Houston kind of turned it on. The high press came on, and that's when everything got really disrupted. So I was actually kind of surprised that Houston didn't try to do that more. But like when they did, it did feel like, yeah, the pressure was on, and San Diego really didn't have a great answer for what Houston was doing.
Boy, it's so true. Just overall, the way that the club is handling the press, it wasn't just this game. It hasn't just been those couple of mistakes that were made. It's been a pretty regular tactic, and I would imagine it would be a tactic that any club that trails SDFC would use to try and get right back into it in a hurry, because even Dos Santos, he's okay with his feet, but he's not great. And so many times, even on the non-dramatic turnovers, SDFC puts their keeper in at least a little bit of peril, at least a little bit of a pickle, and asks him to make a very quick decision and be quick with his feet and be accurate with the distribution. And when it doesn't happen, it's usually some issues in the final third. So stuff to tighten up, to be sure.
Absolutely. And that too, this is a greatest hits of what San Diego FC has been this game. They've felt pressure. They've been able to control the tempo. They've been able to be aggressive. They've been able to be dynamic on offense, but also those challenges presented themselves of not being able to score, creating, but not being able to cash in that check. And they're right there. They're at the bank, man. They're in the queue. They're next up. This the decision that turns everything around after the first half. Chucky comes out. Mikey Vada's post-match did say that was a tactical decision. Not an injury, not a numbers, that was a tactical decision to put Pellegrino in for Chucky Lozano. Pellegrino comes on, and we've seen what he's been recently, and what ends up happening is he's very, very instrumental in the offense moving forward from this moment, starting with this penalty call. Let the Pellegrino apology tour begin. Craig, where are you on that? Or Abe, go for it.
I mean, I think Mikey Varas has been using Pellegrino very selectively. He was starting him in these last couple matches and kind of letting him develop and get this chemistry with these teammates. And at first, it's kind of like, okay, there's not really much there. He's not putting great shots. It's just like, I think you guys were calling him a tronco these last couple games, but in this game, he looked just so comfortable out there, was drawing important fouls like this, making the perfect pass at times, and just being an important body out there, not just a tronco. He's like involved at so many different levels. And I guess that's something that Lozano wasn't able to do in this game. And that's why Mikey Varas decided to make this move. And I think I would love to talk to Lozano and see what his thoughts are on it, just because it's like, you presume like, okay, your designated player, taking him out at halftime when you're down 1-0. That sounds like a crazy decision, but it was gutsy, and it ended up working out perfectly.
Pellegrino was maybe thinking he was fighting for his roster spot going forward. I don't think it's unfair to say that his performances when he was in the lineup were disconnected, and they felt low energy. It didn't feel like he was making a decisive impact on the field. By contrast, he comes in at the half. He doesn't have to leave anything in the tank. So maybe he had, on one level, a minutes restriction advantage of saying, okay, I've got this half, I'm going to go as hard as I can. And then put on top of that the added motivation of, I'm on this great team and I could be off it and sent out as soon as the under 20 kids come back. I might be gone and Vasquez might take my role. So he came out with absolute fire and honestly played an outstanding match, the kind of match that makes you think that we found a 9 again. But what I more think of is this is the back half now of the Ingvartsen puzzle piece. If you can get Ingvartsen back, you never think you could get him back for 90 minutes. But if you could get him back for a half, and then you can bring in Amal Pellegrino for a half, all of a sudden it feels a lot stronger for San Diego FC at the 9.
Yeah, you're right, Craig. Do we need? Yeah, we're not going to see Ingvartsen play 90 like right off the bat, not even in playoffs, and having someone cover those minutes on the back half, that'd be great. I think we've been calling for that for a while. I think this is just a better rotation than having Pellegrino start, because when you're starting, you're thinking like, hey, this team, you never know what happens. Injury might happen, or the head coach might say, hey, I got to take some other guys out. You're thinking that maybe I have to play these 90 minutes and I have to really use my energy for 90 minutes. Well, instead, Pellegrino used all his energy for 45 minutes, and it was incredible. It's the best we've seen in a very long time out of that front line, and we got more goals out of it than I expected. It was more than 2. It was a great night for Pellegrino. He was involved in all of them, and that's really great to see. And I saw the comments from San Diego. Well, first from San Diego FC fans calling him Alexander Isaac, which was actually pretty cool. And then and then on the San Jose side, they were like, "Where did this come from? Where did this production come from?" He ends up with 2 assists and a goal. Just incredible.
Do you guys really think this is sustainable though? I hadn't thought about this during the game. I think I was kind of just like, wow, this is incredible. They did kind of find their 9, but as I think about it now, this is just one match that we've seen this kind of performance. Is this just a Houston thing, or do you think that you saw enough that he could perform like this against Portland and then potentially in the playoffs?
Well, 7 of SDFC's goals have come against Houston. So I think that says a lot about Houston. I need to see it again. I remember the game that Valakari went off for a couple of goals. It didn't turn him into Alex Morgan all of a sudden. He went back to not scoring goals. So I need to see more. But the biggest difference for me, guys, was the energy. Like it just felt like Pellegrino was drifting around, and it's unfair to him, but that's what it felt like his first 3-4 times on the pitch for SDFC. In this match, he was purpose. He had a fire underneath him, and honestly, easily unselfish plays along the way as well. That was a lovely trap down to the weirdly vertically running Luca De La Torre there.
That was like the weirdest celebration of the year, right?
It was like a wet noodle celebration, like or a celebration. If I can encapsulate Luca De La Torre in a celebration, it's arms to the side and like emotionless, and here's my slide.
So weird. I'm sure that's a thing that someone's done somewhere that I just haven't seen. And I got to give him credit for that. But that also good on Luca. We've been hard on Luca. Bullying works apparently. But Luca De La Torre came off the bench and made an immediate impact by just being in the right place at the right time for San Diego FC.
Let's call bullying's a little strong. Let's call this offense shaming. How about that? It's just
don't king shame my lack of offense. What? No, we are.
And I think I may have to disagree a little bit about a lovely touch in order to assist to Luca, because that's where it's just the aesthetics of it. I'm like, come on, dude, like trap it. He gets it. The job done. 100%. That's just a me thing. Me, and I understand haterade 100%, but just tighten it up.
Every time I watch that, I laugh though.
There is a version of this where a better defender comes in and clears that out. And so that's, I think, my take on that is that the positioning is there, the finishing is there. Now we can see that you have the capacity to score and get in these dangerous positions. But I think I'm with you, Craig. Need to see it again. Need to see more of it. But also good to see all of the substitutions for Mikey Varas being not only important but decisive in the victory and every single goal in the second half for San Diego FC.
And that's exactly what you need when you're making a playoff run. And there's going to be times where someone's just not having a good game. You might need to take off Chucky Lozano in the 45th minute in a playoff game because you need to win that game. And people would look at you as crazy for putting on Pellegrino, but it's really gutsy out of Mikey Varas. And I don't think it's something that we would have seen early on in the season.
Yeah, because immediately 87th minute, you give the goal back, right? So this is the sense of MLS. Like, yes, the victory and the lead is going to be short and it's fleeting sometimes. And exactly this, a Houston that ties it up 2-2. And then MLS is MLSing because then you come back in the 89th minute. And, this one I'll give Pellegrino. Excellent decision making. That was good.
That was a great read.
That was good.
There's so many times where you see someone like just take the shot because they're like, we got to take the shot here, but no, you dump it off, you give the extra pass to Dreyer, who had a great lane right there to score. So very, very well read by Pellegrino, and it was interesting just to see his like progression like throughout that half where like he was mostly like all the defenders were pretty much on him. Like they were kind of running in stride with him, but in that final goal, probably because like Houston just gave up, but he outran his man and he actually, took it an extra gear there, which was really good to see because, I honestly thought this was like an old man like running out there, but it's like, oh, you have an extra gear you could probably take late in this game. That's good. So hopefully we get to see that and against a team that's not so desperate as Houston was, who really was trying to get 3 points.
That's
at
right.
home because they have to win in order to stay, within the playoff race. And for Olsen, his job's on the line. So they were playing a little bit more desperate than San Jose was a week ago.
No, that's such an important point, Alex, because a draw wasn't going to help Houston at all. So they were continuing when they got that mistake and they got the Santos goal. That was just step one for them. Step two was to go get a third goal and get a lead. And as a result, they did not lock down defensively. And then you see SDFC put on 2 more late. But, that ties back to the question about Pellegrino and have we found our 9 and is this a new day? And we say, no, hang on, turn the page, wait for the next match, because Portland is not going to be playing like that. They're not going to be playing, throwing everyone forward, saying we got to have 3 points, a tie isn't enough. They're going to be a team that is going to put the pressure on you to create. And it's not going to be wide open like this. Obviously, this is the end of the game when they're all spread out and tired and they're pressing for their equalizer again. But the space isn't going to be there in the playoffs either, unless you get into a specific situation. So still work to be done for SDFC in terms of consistency of quality in the final third.
Yeah, I completely agree. And there's another dress rehearsal for this. This is a game where you have a playoff atmosphere. You have a team playing for their life, and you can tune up and see different sides of some players, right? You kind of see now what you have in Corey Baird as a starter, right? That gives you sort of an idea of what you have there. Moving into Portland with a more clairvoyance in terms of supporter shield, in terms of, what you're actually going to be playing for, what position from here on out. You don't control your destiny. So now it really is a matter of get your 3 points and, just try to go ahead and move forward with that. Like that's the only goal against Portland in 2 weeks after this international break.
It would be very insane if they end up in second place and they have the potential to stay in second place. Portland stays in 7th place, and then they'd be playing each other in the playoffs against. That'd be it could be up to 4 straight matches against each other.
Oh my gosh.
It's just insane.
Imagine the yellow cards. The animosity will be growing.
Look, for Portland, like real quick, they need a point to kind of stay in that 7 spot. If somehow Dallas wins and Portland loses, it's going to be up to goal differential to determine that tiebreaker between Dallas and Portland. That means if Portland wants to at least stay out of that wild card play-in game, they have to at least tie. And Dallas, Dallas can do whatever, but Portland kind of controls their own destiny there. So yeah, it will be a little bit of a fight from Portland to try to remain in the 7 spot.
So with Chiba somewhere in a bus in Japan, asking what seat does San Diego end up in?
I mean, it's probably 2, right? If Vancouver does their part, it's probably 2. Vancouver has to stumble for it to be 1 at this point because they've got that extra match in hand. So they kind of have to, either don't win another game along the way, and then San Diego wins at Portland. Or lose both their matches and San Diego ties at Portland. Those are the 2 ways to get to number 1. But with 2 bites of the apple, you like it for the Whitecaps. You like their situation, and it would set up for SD in the 2, and that's not a terrible place to be. It's a fine place to be. Although if it does wind up against a veteran club like Timbers, that's a very interesting draw in an opening round.
Oh, here comes a new challenger loading up from literally a bus in Japan. Wow. Technology, right? It's insane. Hi, Chiba. How are thank you. Oh, trees are green over there too.
Beautiful.
Are we just being polite because you're on transport?
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
There's also the possibility of LAFC ending up above San Diego. They have 3 games in hand right now, so technically they also control their own destiny in putting San Diego out of that number 1 spot, which would be interesting. I think they could also just get the 7 points and then maybe be winning on goal differential as well. So there's a chance they end up in 3rd place. 3rd place ends up playing 6th place. That'll end up all weird, but I would just guess probably 2nd place is where San Diego ends up.
Man, I'm going to be the optimistic one and say that LAFC and Vancouver can't catch up, and San Diego ends up with the 1st place Western Conference. And just because that LAFC will be without Sun and Bouanga against Toronto and Austin, and they play both games this week. The first one on Wednesday.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah, because without those 2, that's basically what, like 70% of their goals or whatever.
Yeah, and Bouanga actually scored the game winner late last night. So if it wasn't for that, they would have just ended up tying a draw against Atlanta United. And for Vancouver, they play on Saturday against Orlando City. They're also kind of in the same spot as Timbers, where they're in the 7th spot. They want to stay above that, and their final match is against FC Dallas, who's gonna be gunning for a win. And yeah, so Vancouver can't be like, well, we're just gonna back off. Yeah, they're gonna have a pretty big fight, on decision day with Dallas. So I think, if LAFC or Vancouver kind of drop, they end up with a loss in one of these matches, I think that's it. That's pretty much it, really. I think you can, and on top of that, San Diego FC still has to win, which on the road in Portland, I'll take SDFC on with that. So a lot of factors, but I'm going to remain optimistic and say we finish this out with the top spot.
Extending their record-breaking season already, because that's not just the narrative, that's just the fact of the matter now. Abraham Lopez third place, and we will still we'll qualify for Conca Champions. That is very, very true. That's a big tournament here with CONCACAF, literally the Champions League of CONCACAF. But with that, it's a fact of the matter. How does it hit the ear? And we'll get to hear what Mikey Vadas also believes about that. That San Diego FC is now the greatest expansion team in MLS history.
It's everything. Honestly, I mean, unless we can win the cup, it's the thing that the franchise is going to hang its hat on until it lifts more silverware. It'll be, we were the greatest expansion team ever. And they've earned that. They've had so much intentionality from the build at Singing Hills, Right to Dream, the roster build, the 18, Chrome Ball tour, us all finding out that there's 18 cities in San Diego County. All of us San Diegans who knew that, of course, because that's always been a thing. Don't worry, SDFC, that's always been a thing. We've all the way through. Remember the 18. You guys had to recite them, right, in elementary school? Like I did.
Yeah, pledge allegiance to the 18 of the San Diego County in America. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't forget National City. They would always throw it in at the end. Yeah,
You unincorporated folks, though,
you're out.
Lincoln
You're
Acres,
out. Helix, you're
Lakeside.
done. You're done,
Bye.
Helix.
Ugh.
But yeah, no, it's great. Go ahead, Alex.
You like when you say like we're the the greatest expansion team of all time. I can't help but think of Ricky, man, of just being like waving my hands and be like, we are the greatest expansion team of all time. Thank you. And yeah, like I can't help but think of the great Ricky.
Today, I am the greatest of all time.
Yeah, and to be honest, like nothing. We're down in the MLS history books forever with that until someone else beats it. And for now, I don't think there's going to be any more expansion until they.
Nope.
Yeah, I think we're going to be sticking for 30 teams for a while, and we can't take the 60 points for granted either, guys. Like some seasons, it's not this one because it's way more competitive, but some seasons, I'm talking 2015, 2016, those were 60 points to get the top spot in the Western Conference. In 2017, it was 53 points. Like 21, 61, and even 2023 it was at 56 points. So getting 60 points in your first season, that's a huge deal because that already means you're going to be one of the top teams like in your conference, on top of like you're going to be in playoffs and all that other stuff. But 60 points, huge for anybody, any season. Like that's such a remarkable thing to accomplish in year number one.
Go for it, Greg. Or
no, I said happy big. Yeah, your turn.
Mikey Varas, post match with getting to just talk to him in these post matches. Like you get to the sense of like obviously when his tendencies, right, when he's really pissed, and he's like his facial structure changes just in general. It's kind of spooky. But when he's in a delightful mood, like he wears it, and that's the thing about Mikey. Like he wears his emotions at all times. And this is some of the just some background. Waited about 45 minutes post match for them to say, hey, we need to get on a plane. So only one question for everybody. So context with that, no player made available because airplane. So Mikey Varas post match, Houston 4-2 San Diego FC going and breaking the record for most away wins in MLS history, and now the greatest expansion team of all time.
Thank you for your time, Mikey. Can you just go ahead and walk us through this game, first half and second half, and the impact
recording in progress.
All of your substitutes had, Pellegrini, and then De La Torre and Willie at the end.
Yeah, so happy for these guys. We always talk about game changers coming in and making a difference because this is about the collective. It's not about one person or two people. It's not about me. It's not even about me. I'm one small part of this huge project. And I'm just so happy for the guys who came on, including Alex Mighton, including Patty. Patty comes in and helps us really solidify closing out the game where they were kind of getting some chances right before. And then he just comes in like to really give us some solidity there. And the first half, I thought we were okay. Also, like they weren't creating big chances. We were just off a little bit in the discipline in our press, intensity in our press, a little bit with some passes and some movement. But I think from the get go in the second half, it was clear that the group knew that we were going to turn this one around.
And then as a collective, you mentioned now SDFC is poised as probably one of the, if not the best expansion team with records now broken. What does it feel for you and the group to be part of that history now?
You have to celebrate that, man. You have to celebrate that. 60 points. Nobody can take that away from us. That's written down right now until somebody else breaks it. And that's a huge testament to these guys and how they work, how they believe in us, how they commit to being great teammates, to being top professionals, to showcasing their talent, to having that fighting spirit. And on top of that, we did it our way. We're here to win, but how we win and who we win with matters. And those guys exemplified that. And I think that you have to celebrate that. Of course, tomorrow we'll get back to focusing on our next steps, but tonight is about celebration.
You got to celebrate it, man. From Mikey Varas. You got to celebrate it. That's the loosest, just most like, USA. And, you can feel it. I know you like that, Greg, a lot.
I loved it. I mean, I think the celebration was flowing freely throughout those clips, and it was exciting to see. And, Mikey Varas he's a real one. And it's absolutely beautiful to have the opportunity to have him and compare and contrast him to the guy who continuously gaslights his fan base and the media and his community in Major League Baseball and just makes up stuff and creates straw men to defend and all these other things. And I'm sorry to turn it back. I did 2 hours on them before the hour here. But like he's such a breath of fresh air in that respect. And that was one of my more fun, amusing clips to see of Mikey all year.
My favorite clip, like real quick, was I like the little videos they do inside the locker room, because at the very end of one of them, you could see some of the players doing the Dale San Diego. Like if for a fan that has been with this club since the very beginning, starting those chants, and now you see like the players also getting excited, they're doing it themselves. It's just all of it's coming together in your first year. So that's really cool to see, because it kind of seems like the players also match the energy of the fans too, because they're we're all in it here together, and that's really cool to see.
The vibes are there. The vibes are here. They were at Mission Pacific Beach. That was a pretty good event. I think a soft launch for potential away watch parties and what that's going to look like here for San Diego. Question here from Keegan: are we going to see Marcus and Varson in the last regular season match? Yes, we should see Marcus and Varson at least for some minutes to try to see what he has and what that's going to mean for him moving into playoffs. Because again, pound for pound in the season, the most impactful player has to be Marcus and Varson, just because he hasn't played a lot. And, just if you trim the fat of that, then he's very important. So 15 minutes of a Marcus and Varson in a go time situation, you throw him out there just to see what happens, but he needs to have, at least some sort of game time minutes under him moving in that direction. So hopefully that's still something that will happen for sure. But yeah,
I just looking back to where this whole season started, where everything started, them going scoreless against Columbus at home. It wasn't Columbus, it was St. Louis, right? Yeah, it was St. Louis was their first home match. But just from that moment, thinking like, okay, this expansion team, they're going to be here, and to 60 points and top of the Western Conference right now with one game left is truly something that I don't think any of us would have predicted. And I think I'm going to remember this moment and this team in the pantheon of San Diego sports history for a while, just because of how many. I think a lot of the time it's like, is it about the destination or the journey? Especially when it comes to sports, a lot of the time we always focus on that destination, that championship, but the journey of this season has been really fun to watch. Anders Dreyer, MVP season. being introduced to so many different players, such a different play style, and just fun. And I really didn't expect to enjoy watching MLS this much, but I think this season has been actually quite fun to watch.
God damn it, we failed to talk about Anders Stryer getting a brace.
Yeah,
What the hell?
It's standard protocol. It's protocol. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he got 2 goals. Big deal. He got 2 goals.
I
Yeah.
will say the penalty wasn't the best penalty.
most convincing because but
Yeah.
all he is the penalty taker, guys. So I mean,
I,
something to practice going
he,
into playoffs.
he missed a penalty earlier on this season. This one also looked a little bit on the weaker side. But that's picking too many nits.
McVay also probably had his worst game of the season, but I mean, get it out in regular season time, not playoffs. So hey, look, facts are facts, but even then, they were able to rise above and win 4-2.
Yeah, even then, and even so. Amazing, guys. It's so much fun. And to see the way and I see all the fans in the comments right now, and some of our great supporters out there like Papi Chavo, like, just to see the way that this is built and what it has turned into and how it's become transportable. If Wave weren't playing on October 18th, I was going to buy a last minute plane ticket and get up to Portland. I really wanted to go, but that is fan appreciation night for the next team you're going to cover.
Last time the Wave didn't have the fan appreciation night, so you never know.
Oh, that's right, Craig.
Ouch.
They didn't get to do the Wave fan appreciation game.
The field's good this year. And from what we hear, the field
It's
is
good.
good this year.
Do you see what they're giving away? They're giving away a Wave hockey jersey.
Oh,
It looks sick.
Mhm.
Like, it actually looks like legitimately sick. Like, Wave replica hockey jersey giveaway. First 10,000 fans, October 18th. They'll also be giving away a concession time goal. That's also expected to be given away somewhere between the 92nd and 99th minute. We should be allowing a goal. So look forward to that for San Diego Wave FC.
And I don't cover Wave or talk about them as much, but damn, did that hurt? That hurt me, like, right in the heart. Like, they had a point.
I watched the whole match too,
and it was just like the dagger, and it was But to finish up SDFC, the coolest thing about the fan base, they're going away to all sorts of places, Atlanta, you name it, Dallas, Chicago, and we're gonna finish up the season in Portland. And I can't wait to finish up the season with all the away fans. That's gonna be so much fun. Great times. The fan base just follows this team wherever they go, and you just see it from LAFC to San Jose. It's been great times. So far I've seen 2 wins. Might be 3.
I think we found the people that are invading Portland, though.
Well, that's a great point. So be safe, Alex. And
true.
make sure you check in, as check in with your Antifa commander, as we all do. Get your I mean, you know where to go.
Is that a language right there? You can't do that up there, dude. Just,
listen.
And yield on the frog costumes.
No, we only speak Sorosese when we check in, and on our Antifa check-in. So just get ready, because the war is coming to you.
Thank you, Keegan, for saying thank you for running the live stream. Yeah, we do this every single Monday here, and then Thursday is the CHROMANIACS with Craig and Alex, where we do previews, we do post matches here on San Diego Football. Is the place to be. So be a friend, tell a friend, subscribe, be part of all of that. But San Diego FC, is there anything that we're missing other than literally a brace like of for Dreyers?
In international soccer, I believe the US U20s, they advanced. So Luca Bombino and Pedro Soma and Durant Free could potentially be out for the Portland game as well. Most likely, I would assume they're going to be out. I think technically they can lose and then not end up, but I would assume they're going to be out. The US has looked good. The U20s look good. Mexico U20s looked really good. I don't know if you saw that.
Mexico. Papi Mexico.
Yeah, Gilberto Mora is like just looks like a man amongst children, even though he's like shorter than all of them.
Yeah.
It's kind of hilarious, and he's on the younger side for the U20. It's U20s are cool if you guys want to watch that. International soccer wise, I don't know. Are you into international soccer right now, or are you just over it?
I'll watch it. Like again, like I recuse myself from any Bombino just discussions because for me, it's not good that he's not here in San Diego because he's helping the U.S., which is anti-Mexico supporter. So like it's kind of weird for me. If you want to watch good soccer, I guess watch MASL coming up.
Hey,
you won't
I
see
know where the best team is.
yeah, appealing from
I know where the best remaining team is.
not in Mexico for sure.
Nope, no sir, no.
But all right, San Diego FC will be going up to Portland. There is an international break. There are international players going and representing San Diego FC and La Mayor on the major team. Is it the main team in English? How do you say that? Is La Mayor
It's
the main
first
roster?
team.
First team?
Not senior national.
Yeah.
Senior national.
Senior national. Yeah.
The national team. Like that's it makes sense for me in Spanish. So again, all health and wellness for all of these players. That's the one thing that can
Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Don't
How
put
do
it
you
in
guys-
the universe at all.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
Last
So
time Patty McNair was.
hey,
Sorry.
Was him.
Abe,
Heard him.
settle
It's the
down.
weirdest thing that we get an international break now, and then we play in the playoffs, and then if they advance, there's another international break.
It's so bad.
It's so stupid.
It's hilarious. The season lasts forever. I actually think the preseason begins like the week after the MLS Cup. It's like,
It's like a month actually. Like
both of
big.
these teams. It's kind of crazy how long the
That's
season is.
insane.
Maybe too long. But
Yeah, 'cause I remember it was the Red Bulls Galaxy final, and then just covering the first kind of things happening here in San Diego. It was like, wait, the season's already going to start. Like that's a crazy
Coachella is
turnaround.
like super close.
Like, Coachella Valley, Coachella Valley Invitational, 100%. That's kind of crazy. But playoffs are getting set. You know what? I've been entertained. I can't say I haven't. We'll see what this series of 3 entails, but there is one trip up to Portland left to go. So is there anything else, Craig, Alex, for SDFC?
for me, not for SDFC, no. And I know you guys later are going to be talking Wave, but I was just looking through my notebook. I can't believe, and Abe, maybe you've got better numbers than me, the number of points that Wave have allowed by giving up a goal specifically in stoppage time. I want to say that it's the 4th or 5th stoppage time goal they've allowed this year, and it's probably an order of points equal to them being in second place in the league.
Yeah, I would believe that. I haven't done too much on stoppage time goals, but I've just been focusing on this 7-game stretch. Like 5 losses in 7 games is really poor. Probably the worst stretch in their history. Last time this Wave team went winless through their last 7, Casey Stoney got fired. And I think that was probably the wrong decision at the time. And I think it would be a bad decision to do that now, but it's just important to recognize that that's where this team is at right now. And they were in second place at the international break. It's crazy.
Here's what I have. May, and this is just the home matches. So keep in mind, we've got the stoppage time goal they just allowed at Washington. So you'd have to check the road matches. But May 10th, Portland's Jaden Perry scores on a penalty kick in the 97th minute. Turns 1-0 San Diego into a 1-1 tie. That's 2 points dropped. May 25th is the last time the Wave won. Wow. June 6th, Seattle Reign, Emery Adames. This is the 88th minute, but still, she scores in the 88th minute, turns a 1-1 draw into 2-1 Seattle. That's 2 more points conceded. That's 4. Let's see. July 12th, Utah Royals, Amani Dorsey scores in the 94th minute. 1-0 San Diego turns into a 1-1 tie. And that's 6 more points dropped. And then on August 9th, Angel City FC, Alana Kennedy scores in the 92nd minute. 1-0 San Diego turns into a 1-1 tie. So I've got us at 10 points conceded, adding in Washington Spirit in stoppage time. All the other games recently, we haven't scored goals, so we haven't been able to give up late goals. But that's 10 points, man.
Nuts.
Not good.
And we're supposed to have the best. Sorry in advance. We're supposed to have the best goalkeeper, and we've given up 5 different games in stoppage.
Yep.
That's really, 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 really hard to overcome. That's not an offensive issue for San Diego Wave FC. And all of the talk is offense, and I get it. It's deserved. But what about that? That's 10 points. That's home playoff money. That's home playoff money for San Diego Wave FC. Maybe 2 rounds. What's 10 points give him in the standings, Abe?
3rd place.
Oof.
Where they were.
Yeah, where they were. Yeah.
Right? I mean, 10 points. It's insane. It's insane. And it's the dark little secret. Oh, by the way, they give up some of those goals. I know them. Some of those, you know them, Tony. Some of those goals were bad goals.
Terrible.
Missed punch outs. This one was just lost in space. God bless it. It was a bad play. Like literal panic moments in the stoppage time. That 10 points.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, I think part of it's just
there's your Wave Wednesday. Stitch that into your Wave Wednesday there, Sanchez.
This will be part of it. If there's anything San Diego FC, if there's not here, you're part of it. And it again, third time, you hear it, and you hear your own voice, Craig.
Oh,
so how does the Wave FC intro hit? I changed it. I forgot. Your voice is
sort of nice. I mean, that one's good. That's good.
I think this is like partly just a symptom of Jonas Jonas Ball. Like Trinity Armstrong has been going up as the 9 in so many of these games late. And that's just like, that's your center back who's a young player too, and who's been pretty good defense. Like it's so weird right now. Like what is happening?
But it's a rebuild year. It's a rebuild year.
Hang on. How many of those 10 points do we recapture if number 4 is at center back?
Interesting.
Gurma.
Number from Gurma, Naomi Gurma. She was on this team.
Yeah.
Her jersey still hangs in my closet. You know, like the best center back in the world. Like this is the first time I've really thought about it in that way. But because at the beginning of the year, it felt like, oh, they distributed that money so well. They got so many different contributors along the way, you know, but let's be square about it. Like Gia Corley had a good start to the season, but honestly, her contributions have been few and far between ever since match day 3 of the NWSL season. Adriana Leon has not had the speed or the good first touch to really be that 9 for San Diego, and she has not created the goals. A couple happened early, and those happened as being on the back post, knocking in a rebound. It wasn't really about being able to create and have that good touch. So some of that money evaporated, but we had great play early from the young, and Trinity in the middle, but the numbers are what they are. Those late concessions are what might keep this club / will keep this club, unless they get their act together, out of the playoffs altogether. And what a disappointment after how good they were before the international break. 7-3-3.
They got figured out. Cascarino was, crucial. They figured out, let's isolate her. And Alex, again, at any point, if you want to, enjoy the rest of your night too, or stick around, that's fine as well as you, Craig. But yeah, no, hardcore wave now, because this is, it's sad. And I don't like and enjoy sitting there watching this team that I saw a couple months ago really have that promise. Gia Corley, like, wow, this is going to be a revelation. This young German player, dynamic. And, we were forgetting about Jaden Shaw until she, reminded SDFC of who she was to your face. But yeah, there's a lot of just pieces, and they're not working as a collective anymore right now. And I think that's the biggest thing, that collectively, San Diego Wave as a team, it's just not good. They have these bits and pieces throughout the year. Cami has been throwing Dudiña. You have a Colombian center back that sometimes plays 3 minutes at the end of the game when you need an attack. But let's go ahead and give Daniel Arias these minutes here. You have just, Ascanio, who's really haven't found her place and just role in this team. Like, she's good. You just know she's good, and she's going to do her best with the ball and is very important. But what is her role? Like, there's not a defined place for her in this team except for on the field. And then you have Kanzadali trying to just stitch everything together. Pearl Maroney in the back having a great game. Did get accused by Trinity Rodman. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that
on Instagram.
But that's good. That's good for Pearl Maroney, just to be a stick in the side of one of the best players in the women's soccer right now. It just speaks to how good Pearl Maroney was in this game, but it's just not been good at all levels, like you said. Like, no, there's a little connection throughout the team, and I think the only thing that was truly holding them together, and they even hinted at this in a talk with Jonas Eidevall on the broadcast, that Maria Sanchez leaving this team had a major impact on the way things are working. There's just not a lot of crosses into the box coming in from the left side, which is exactly what Maria Sanchez did. She was friends with all the young players too. She would host these foot tennis things before all these games, all these practices. They would all play foot tennis like 15 minutes before, all having fun. They don't do that anymore without Maria Sanchez. It doesn't, from what I've seen when I do go to the trainings, it seems a lot more business-like than it does seem team-like than it was at the beginning of the season. Part of that's just because they haven't been winning.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that might just be that the whole team dynamic switched.
Shawn Michaels said it once, and I think this is happening with San Diego Wave, is they lost their smile.
Oh.
Their smile.
Well, I love this club, and I also, just for in case anyone doesn't know, I am an independent contractor with the Wave. So, I've been there for 4 seasons, so I'm not going to be like trashing the Wave. Some people feel in America in 2025 that facts have opinions. Like 10 points conceded on 5 goals in stoppage time is just a fact. That's a sad fact, and figuring out why should be right at the top of the plate, for Jonas and for Camille. Like, it should be at the top of the plate. What's going on there? Because for all the issues the offense has had since Maria Sanchez has left, if they had held those 1-0 leads in 3 different home matches this summer, then it doesn't matter as much. Maybe it hurts their championship pedigree, but they're going to be firmly in the playoffs, and they're probably going to have a home playoff match. So I just think there's still room for this club to get to where they want to go. And I thought this particular match, this is what kills me and just broke my heart about this match, is that it was so against the run of play for them to score.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not only were they down 1-0, They were down 1-0, and then now you get this move, this run by Carusa, so positive right there to set, and then Cascarino, beautiful touch. But the 7 minutes before this were like 3 Trinity Rodman breakaways that Kalen Sheridan made the saves on, and they weren't always the best shots, but still, like, for all the stick that Kalen gets for being out of position on that very last, pop fly goal, she had stopped like 3 breakaways. She had made like 7 or 8 saves. It was ridiculous. They could have easily been down 5-0 when they got that goal if Kalen was playing a below average match, but she played spectacularly first half, second half, stopped so many goals. And then for that to happen the way it did so late and to kill the point, that 1 point, as you know, Abe, was going to be a point that could really have kept them in the playoffs. And now they're probably going to be in the outside looking in, needing more tough points on the road.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. They have 31 right now, 3-point lead over North Carolina, and then 4-point lead over Houston, and then Angel City's right now losing as we speak. And so it's gonna be a really tight thing. I still think, honestly, they probably stick in that 8 spot, just at least getting maybe 1 win or a draw, and they could probably still end up there. You're still gonna get smoked by Kansas City.
Yeah.
If you end up in
my
that,
gosh,
you're going to get absolutely smoked by Kansas City. And Washington Spirit too. They just showed you how good they are, and you had probably a lucky game with Kalen Sheridan making all those saves. XG wise, I'm sure it was very high in favor of Washington Spirit this game, and they just it's just not looking good right now. And I do think for the future they probably have some good pieces, but the rest of the league is getting so much better too. And everyone knows exactly what's coming. And Jonas has shown little ideas of switching up the defense. Like you said, like if the defense is struggling so hard in these last few matches, why has Daniela Arias not seen significant minutes at all? It's nuts.
As a San Diego soccer fan, Alex, how do you stand on this San Diego Wave tailspin? Because you saw them recently.
Yeah, I watched this match, and it's really disappointing because I've been watching them from the beginning of the season, and they were doing really well in the standings, and now they just keep sinking lower and lower, and it's almost like, well, they're on the brink of losing that final playoff spot. And they really got to figure out the right combination here. Really, I really don't know like what's going to be the best personnel, but man, they got to figure it out because the other teams are easily putting games away late in the match, and like how do you keep just losing points like at home on the road? It just kind of seems like it's the same thing almost each game. And man, I don't know. It's like I don't know what's gonna be right, because I understand this was always gonna be a project, and it's probably still gonna be a project next season. Like this is a rebuild project, and we look good in the first half of the schedule, and now we're really turning into a rebuild mode type of situation. And who's gonna really come in and bring it and put us over the top? I personally I really like Jaden Shaw. I love what she was doing, and now she's gone. She was sold. She's sent somewhere else, and and that part is still missing. So like Wave, the brass at Wave, they gotta figure this out to be the team that everybody loved at the very beginning, which was this like top of the table type of team. And now it's really looking like we're gonna miss out on the playoffs potentially. Hopefully not. I would love to see both teams in the playoffs.
Well, I would too. Look, I'm probably I'll probably be bowing out. I really do love this Wave squad, and it breaks my heart. 1-5-4 over 10 matches, and since the international break, there's just been this slowness in the offense that doesn't. It's this weird feeling of like they're in their 11th month practicing together, and it feels like they just met.
Yeah.
Sometimes in terms of like, oh, you're supposed to be there. Wait, I'm supposed to do what? There's always this hesitation, and then balls put into spots that just don't like make sense structurally. Where you're like, why would you put it there? Your teammates over here, and they're running this way. Why would you do it? Why would you do that? And that just seems to happen like really regularly, far more than I thought. Because early in the year, the attack was very dynamic. It was goal scorers all over the place and multiple goal games, and it can't just be Maria Sanchez. I mean, she's a part of it. She had an okay year, but she wasn't like dominating and breaking down every game. If I was going to say anyone was doing that, it was Cascarino. She was the one who was dominating and breaking down games. But the last thing I would say is, everyone remembers that beautiful Armstrong header on a corner kick to win a game at the death and stoppage time back in, I think it was May, or could have even been April. I feel like every corner kick since has been played short.
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
It's a prefabricated play every time.
I asked Jonas Eidevall about this one time, and he said, "Well, it works better when we do it instead of this outswing. The math says it, and it's just every corner kick, every free kick. They even talked about it on the broadcast. It's so predictable. I think that's my issue more than it being ineffective, is that it's just predictable, and everyone knows. If we know it's coming, then every single other coach, every single other team knows they're going to go short. Trinity Robbins going to attack the ball like she did in this game. There's just no fear at all from set pieces.
The pace that breaks my heart of this game, after obviously just is this guy right here. Yeah. Just is like there's a shot here later that they cut back to him. Let's see if they get him. It's just like telling everybody like, focus, please, like just begging, pointing to his head like, focus, please, for the love of God. That's all you have to do. Please do it. And the inevitable happened. And just behind the scenes, Abe and I, because again, it's predictable, we go back and forth. I'm like, are you going to be on the post match? Is it just going to be one of us awkwardly with Jonas? And we were fortunately both in there, but we're like, hey, we're going to have Jonas. Like, yes, he's jumping for joy. He's celebrating. And then it's quickly turned around, and, we all know what ended up happening, but
it's so brutal. It's just so absolutely brutal.
I saw that too. I saw him on the sideline, just so happy, and I
jumped so high he didn't know how to land. Like,
yeah.
I got worried for his knees a little bit. Not gonna lie.
He knew it was so stolen. It was just such a thief in the night moment. And he's like, yes, finally, all of this frustration. I get this. I've been dying for a break for so long. Look at the eyes, the pleading in his eyes when they show it. It's just a pleading for success.
Please.
Right? Look at that. Look at that.
So balled up.
Oh my God. It's about the look my dog gives me before I scoop the dinner, like, am I, it's unbelievable. And for it to end that way, I'm not down on Jonas. There's a lot of young players on this team. Hopefully for Kennedy and Trinity, these are learning moments, and they become that tough defense, because those are the two center backs. So they really need to take the blame. They're two young women who succeeded in college, but it's not happening in the pros. They're giving up late goals. It's really ugly. So hopefully it's a learning moment along the way. But here's my last question. Trinity Byers. I've been thinking about her. The signee out of Texas, injured. Could she be an answer in the attack next year? Could that be the missing piece?
Next year, I think she could. They got a lot of hype, was generally consensus, like would have been #1 overall draft pick had the draft still existed. I've heard of that from a lot of different people in NWSL circles and also just college soccer circles. So it was kind of a bit of a coup for the Wave to get her, but they also got her after she had just torn her ACL. But technically they didn't call it a torn ACL, but it's just one of those. Shohei Ohtani didn't get
body.
yeah,
Marcus and Marcin,
elbow
lower
injury,
body.
UCL surgery, but not Tommy John. But was one of those things. She's been training with the team. She does the warm-ups with the teams. She's still getting back to her health. I think there's a chance she could come on late in this. Well, it's already late in the season, but there's a chance.
We're out of time.
Yeah, but technically, maybe she could exist and be an option up front. But I wouldn't even try that at this point, just because that would throw such a wrench in things too. If like maybe you're rushing it too fast and she gets injured, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough. And then Savannah McCaskill being injured, we do not know for how long. Wave is pretty quiet and will not acknowledge that any injury is happening when you see Million Vatanas on
a scooter.
And with a boot. It's like, what's the status on her? Wait for official club communication. So it's just like, okay, well, everyone sees her with the boot, but
Early Halloween costume. She's really into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have no idea when Savannah McCaskill would come back, and I think if she was in this game too, like that, Washington would not have had nearly as many chances just because of how good she is in the midfield defensively. But yeah, I think Trinity Byers could be an option up front, and then Maya Jones, I think, even looked good in 2024 at times. She could go back and from her loan and bring some interesting things. But
what about Fusco? Fusco turned up a couple games ago and was like really in the attack and exciting. I was like, wait, hang on.
I completely agree. Coming out of Penn State, like when you sign these like short-term loan players or like international replacement players, usually it's not the greatest player, greatest talent level. They're kind of there to train with the team, but she looked really good in her 45 minutes at home the other day.
Yeah, just for context, last year one of those was the social media manager for San Diego Wave. So like again, that's the level of some of these international replacement players. So shout out San Diego Wave legend Emma Vanderheyden, official player.
Love it.
You wore like number 27 too, like a cool number.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
That's amazing.
All right. Craig, Alex, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again,
you bet.
Let us know where they can find all the great work that you guys do outside of the CHROMANIACS. And you mention the CHROMANIACS every Thursdays here on San Diego Football and on Breaker and everything that you love to hear. Craig and Alex?
Well, yeah, okay. I'll go. Padres Hot Tub, which had a name before that, really just finished our 10th season of coverage of San Diego Padres baseball on the podcast. Patreon community, over 600 people deep. Heading into an off season that could be either quiet or incredibly eventful, depending on what decisions are made, the next 3 weeks. So we just announced today on the show the launch of a new off-season podcast just for patrons. So you can find out about all of that at patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. I would also mention we'll be recording a new episode tomorrow, Crossing Streams, my television streaming podcast.
Ooh,
there it is for the viewers, with myself and Chris Reed taking on the first 5 episodes of Task, which is the latest Sunday Prestige HBO show. So you can check that out as well. Please do. We did that show very religiously for about 4 years and then set it aside for a little over a year. And then Chris and I have been back at it for the last 3 months or so. So please go check that out. It's always a source of discussion of the best shows of the year. So, if you're just looking for good things to watch, you can always find that on the Crossing Streams feed. And, depending on what I hear on tomorrow's conference call, we may have a new episode of Soccer's Overtime this week.
Oof, that's going to be
with me and Tony.
Very interesting. I'm actually looking forward to learning. That's what I'll name it now.
The new streamlined MASL. Leaner, meaner, fitter, fighting trim.
Not in Spanish, though.
Not in Spanish. Absolutely not. Get out of here with that.
Missing a certain, 3-time champion dominant force. It's like just omitting the Dodgers. Could you imagine? MLB went to the winter meetings, was like, listen, Dodgers, you're good, but we've got new rules, and your stadium doesn't fit specs,
and you have a month to fix it.
Yeah, and your broadcast needs work. Joe Davis has to be gone, or else you're out of the National League. Well, no, you can stay in the National League. You just can't be in the playoffs. You can't host any playoff games.
It's like, hey, that guy Vin Scully, you guys should bring him back. Like, then we'll talk.
Right? What would the Dodgers do? I mean, they can't go play themselves, but Chihuahua has decided they will, in fact, maybe find a different league.
Well, the Phillies did. They drew 31,000 fans and played themselves. So maybe that's Alex.
All right.
Yeah, just catch me on Chromatic FC. I'll usually write stuff, recaps and previews. I might write something this week about the team, even though we're in international break. So catch me there. Catch me on Blue Sky. Who knows, Alex? If you want to talk some footy. And my last question for you guys: how can the Wave salvage their season as things are spiraling out of control and they're trying to still make playoffs with 3 matches to go? I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, me too. I'll hang up too.
Sounds good.
Thanks for the call, caller. We love callers. We have our phone line.
We actually have a phone
619.
line. But
I know.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining. You pack it up and you leave. That's
how you answer. That's
you
your
just
answer?
put your hand on top of the deck like in Yu-Gi-Oh, and you just surrender. Don't show up for your fan appreciation night.
Oh, do it again.
Yeah,
back to
just
back
do it again. It's tradition. Like, why?
Oh.
Why at this point? Like, right? Like, do you really appreciate your fans that much? I will say San Diego Wave does, I think, has better giveaways this year.
Oh, dude, I think they've had pretty cool.
But in any case, it also might be because, whenever they're in legal.
Oh, there's a freaking another lawsuit, man.
No, literally, I was waiting for Craig to leave because, again, I don't know. I don't want to bring that up.
Yeah.
when we have a independent contract.
First to answer the question.
Yes.
I think it's simple. What have we said?
We kill the Batman.
They need to score goals, and it's the dumbest thing to say. Do I believe that they can do that? Maybe, probably not. It's hard. The other teams know exactly what's coming, and you haven't really shown a different dynamic, so gonna be tough. But just score goals. I think Craig makes a great point with just being good defensively at the end of games. But that's like blaming the starting pitching when you can't get a hit. Sorry, that's a sore subject right now, but
let's hear.
Yeah, I think we should hear from Kira Kursa and Jonas Heideval, who they had some interesting answers. They still are so like I think what I think is the most just like that could give you hope if you're if you're anyone watching this is how much the Wave players and coach believe still in everything. I was thinking back to the last 7 match win the streak the team had. They were just kind of lost.
Yeah.
Every player had something kind of different to say, and it was all just pretty much saying, like, yeah, we got to be better. But they're still just so confident.
They believe.
And
they believe that they can win.
Yeah.
Score more than the other team. That's the key. Yes.
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 Wow.
Simple. That's John Madden.
I hate that freaking my analysis for that. Score goals. That's how you win. But
all right. Let's hear from Kira Caruso, who, again, you and I were waiting. We're just like,
who are we talking to? Yeah.
Who are we talking to? Like, who drew the short end of the stick?
If before this, I would have think, okay, Kaylin Sheridan's a great person to talk to right now. She just came back from having her child and had a pretty solid game. She's done great. So she made so many different saves, so many one-on-one chances. Player of the match. By far. Player of the match. And then you have the end of the game where she definitely mistimed that cross, was out of position, but also the defensive line was a little bit ahead. She kind of pulled her out of her line. So it's on her, but also kind of just on the entire defense. But right, yeah, sorry. Let's listen to Kira Kursa.
If we want to start with, do you have one in person that you want to kick it off with? Or if not, I can have them go online. Okay. Tony, go ahead.
Thank you for your time, Kira. Could you go ahead and, first of all, walk us through that play that ended up tying up that goal and just the emotional side of the game aspect towards the end of obviously the result and performance as well.
We start with the goal. So, I mean, you're away. It's a mid-game, a midday game in DC. It's one of the more difficult places to play. And coming off the first half and going down early, it's important as a team to like keep that fire, keep that culture within us, keep that fight to go and score. And I think that leading through that second half, there was a lot of fight, that was kind of a manifestation of that goal. You have Delphine, who is back and healthy for us and making such a clinical run, and one that you would run every day in training, and just so important to put that ball in the back of the net and just kind of show that grind and that grit that we were showing all game, that it comes with a result from it. Yeah. So what was the second question?
Yeah, if you can just obviously take us through that moment, and then pause, and then after the game winner for Washington, and just the emotion and duality of those two.
Yeah. I mean, that is football for you. It's just don't love it when it happens back to back like that so quickly. I mean, again, a game is a referee calls a game when they call a game. It's so important to play through the final whistle. We know this. It's just there's not much you can do with a situation like that. I think that it really doesn't reflect the grind and the kind of grit that we had to like go and pull ourselves back up and get us back into that game. And it's heart-wrenching to feel that one. That one hurts.
And then lastly, in these tough moments, what is the message from Jonas to the team? And then is there any separate message or anything different messaging within the players, each other?
Yeah, I think as a collective from Jonas and from the players, it's a moment to recognize that, again, like I'd said before, the variables in which we came out there and fought for, it's the final minute of that, or the final second of that game, doesn't discard or discredit all of that leading up to that, and what we're really fighting for and what we're still fighting for. And I think that's a strong message from Jonas and from the team. I'd say, I know, after the game, I look at a player like Kimmy, and I looked at her and I just said, a year ago, the game you put out here today, you wouldn't be able to do that a year ago. And you have to remember that everything that you did, and the way you played the fight, the way you were brave to get the ball, you come out to DC and play a 1:00 game, and late in the season like this in October, and you grind like you do, that's a Kimi today that can do that. And that there will be a moment in which we reflect back on this and we say, you know what, we had moments like this to have great moments like that. And we have to believe in that. And I think that's a sentiment felt from Jonas and from the team.
Thank you so much. Safe travels.
Yeah, thank you. Abraham, did you have one, or we can go to in person?
Yeah, thank you for the time, Kira. You mentioned fight and grit, and through seven tough results, how does this team maintain that mentality of wanting to still grind out these matches?
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And I think that's sports for you. And the reality is that that's our purpose right now. That's what we have to give that is the barrier of entry to win something in this league. And that just goes to a testament to how difficult this league is week in and week out. But at the same time, it's also a testament to how quickly tides can turn and things change, and momentum is lost and momentum is got. And I think that having, going out and seeing these players every day and being a part of this program, it's inevitable that it goes our way. It comes for us. And that is what you have to believe in. Again, I believe that's the barrier of entry. If you're out on the pitch and you're out on the training field and you don't think like that, then what are you doing out there? And that's the biggest thing for us, is that we every single one of us continue to remind ourselves, it's a difficult league, but that is just the win goes your way just as much of it as it doesn't.
Kira Caruso attacker, assister today, or this last weekend for Cascarino.
And that's a good answer, I think.
Great answers.
Yeah, great answers.
Good
And
questions too. How do you guys smile through the pain? You
Yeah.
guys, how do you keep trucking after
Sports are-
such misery?
And I guess it makes sense. Sports are tough. And like her answer on Kimi Ascanio and giving that advice to Kimi is just great answer and a great mentality to have, especially with such a young team, young players around you, to be able to say that to someone, especially when you're just like lose like that. I imagine the emotions are just like so tough for all these players. Like, how quiet was that plane ride or bus ride back? Just like, ooh. I saw a lot of them like were just around DC the night before too. They were all just like posting from stuff from the National Mall, the Lincoln Memorials, and things of that nature. Technically, they couldn't go to any museums, which is kind of sad.
Because there's a government shutdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was planning on going to a national park this next weekend.
Well, they're free.
Well, technically they're closed.
Well,
So some of them have gates in front of them, and then you won't be able to go in.
technically, this is America. Is what we're getting to understand. Also, all museums and knowledge being locked down. That's cute. That's kind of appropriate.
That exists.
Knowledge.
Museum?
No, it's there.
Okay.
You just gotta.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Distraction. Yeah.
soccer.
Kira Krusa. Solid answers. Tough results. I don't know what else.
But the person that I was kind of twiddling my thumbs about, like, okay, what is this going to be like? What is this going to be like? Was Jonas Seideval.
For hanging around, Tony.
No, not really.
Yes, thank you. Jonas, thank you for your time. Could you take me through this matchup and just obviously the duality there towards the end of emotions and play, and how do you take this match today?
Sure. We're playing against a strong, tough opponent. I think they go into these games 10 games unbeaten. Now they're 11 games. So they're definitely been one of the stronger teams in the league here during the fall, and especially at home, they're very strong. I think we definitely don't start the game as we want to do it. We are to give too much space in our defense. We don't move the ball quick and crisp enough, and the goal is a result of that. But there are also other parts in the first half that we can do better. I think one thing that the players do really well is they show a lot of heart out there, especially in the second half. But even in the second half, we're poor in the decision making a couple of times, which leads to big transition moments for them. And there's really only one reason why we're still in the game, and that's Kaelin Sheridan, who's making some really big saves and big plays for us. And that's really pleasing for me, is we keep believing and trying to find a way, and we score when we tie up the game in extra time. And of course, at that point, it's a result that we're really happy with, and we have fought a lot to get that result as well. And therefore, it's of course complete heartbreak to concede the second goal on the last kick of the game in the manner that we do it as well. So from an emotional perspective, that's of course really, really tough for us to take. And I think we all feel pretty drained after the game. But the important thing for us is to stay together here now. We have a really important game against Utah next weekend. And if there's one thing we can't do is to dwell on mistakes. And we win together, we lose together. And said that to Kaelin after the game as well. I think she was the reason that we could still be in the game, that we can tie up the game. I think she did some incredible saves, some incredible big plays. And that's what we need to take with us. And it was also really good to have Delph back. Of course, both scoring a goal, but also being able to get minutes after her injury, and can build on that up till next week.
I'm gonna pause you. There's a
Jonas Seideval, drained, just defeated. A lot of
They were defeated.
literally defeated, but
Yeah.
just like emotionally beat down. Like everything was Like,
As we said, heartbreaking. I think you said, or when you lose, it's like that. Yeah, just
who has to eat the accountability meal for that game? I mean, the team. It's a collective, right? Like that's the thing. There is no team in San Diego Wave. There's a lot of individuals playing all right, but there's not a team aspect. Kaylin Sheridan doing the best that she can, and obviously being part of the, if not the biggest reason why that game-winning goal goes in for Washington.
It could have been like a 3-1 game. Like
Yeah.
if Delphine Kashkin scored, it was 3-1, then it wouldn't look as bad. But
I was watching it and I accidentally threw my phone. Like not but it was just like
you dropped it.
Like
You're
I just like
no way.
I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe this. But that's what San Diego Wave is. They need to be each other's accountability buddies. There's no real accountability buddies on this team. It's just kind of Kenza dictating things, and again, give Kenza the captain's armband. But I mean, you were going to get at least one miserable point, and the soccer god said no, not for you.
Like I think that's that's proof that's definitely proof of the soccer gods, because Washington's like, oh man, we are pushing, we're pressing, you're moving, and then if that game was a draw, like you steal a point in DC with everything that's happening in DC right now. So many of the season ticket holders are like government workers too. I think that's
They
something.
gave 600 tickets, free tickets.
Yeah, so it's that's something cool that the Spirit does too, just for their community, and then for them to put on like a good performance. Is like, oh man, they're gonna, and then to tie, you're like, oh my God, soccer gods, cruel, how could they? And then they're like, we were just playing with you guys here.
So I'm currently like when I say knee, like my knees deep into EAFC, and my ultimate team is pretty all right. But this is one of these games on EAFC/FIFA where you're just like, this is not realistic. Like that game is one of these things where it's like, yeah, I tied, yeah, and then you end up losing the way that it went. And you're like, this isn't realistic. FIFA, it was blah blah blah. It was a video game. Actually, Trinity Rodman is part of my squad.
Yeah, she's great.
Rose Lavelle.
She's great. Oh, Rose Lavelle's great.
I put Swanson on the left mid. Kenta Dolly is my center midfielder, but I'm kind of restructuring things. Debinya actually was in there too. So cool stuff. Ultimate Team. My San Diego FC Ultimate Team. I started off, not Ultimate Team, my San Diego FC career mode is actually gone into chaos mode already because immediately I bought Kevin De Bruyne.
Is that chaotic? I mean, there was so many rumors about it.
No, but I actually bought him.
What do you think about the rumors of Tata Martino? Did you hear about
LAFC?
that? Yeah.
I mean,
Tom Bogert kind of poo-pooed it, which I believe Tom Bogert more than, but I mean, the idea of it sounds interesting.
On paper, yeah, it's interesting. And I mean,
Mexican coach, LAFC, like replacement. Steve Cherundolo, did he announce where he's going next? No, he's just leaving.
He's just said bye. Yeah. See, Philippe knows. Bet you can kick my ass at it though. All right. So San Diego Wave 2-1. They play against Utah. They have 3 games remaining in the season, regular season. Utah, Chicago Red Stars, and then Kansas City, or who they may play if they qualify into playoffs once again, back-to-back Kansas Cities.
That'd be funny if it's like SDFC plays Portland back-to-back, back-to-back, and then Wave plays Kansas City back-to-back. But that's a very tough schedule. Utah, yes, playing very well.
Yes,
surprisingly too, because they sold. You know what I thought was interesting? You look at the standings, the NWSL standings right now. If you compare what the Wave did at the transfer window, the international break, to what all the other teams did that are below them in the standing. Like it's very interesting because Utah, Ali Sentinor, that you sold her early on in the season, but still definitely a big sell. Angel City letting Alyssa Thompson go to Chelsea. They end up trading Emma Vignola to Portland and getting Hina Sugita, who's good, but you don't need a midfielder. It's just weird. Like, yeah, Angel City's selling right now too. North Carolina, they sold Jaden Shaw. They fired their head coach. in the middle of the season.
Utah did too, right?
Utah, I believe they got rid of their coach as well.
Yeah.
And they got rid of their best player, and they've been unbeaten through their last 7. And
It's incredible.
Yeah, Chicago's just been poor from the start of the season. No, Mallory Swanson's really changed everything, but like Portland being good without Sophia Wilson too has been surprising. But yeah, all these different teams sold at the deadline, at the transfer window, whatever. Wave, I don't think they sold, but they didn't. Well, they sold Maria Sanchez.
They got Dudinha,
but that's definitely not. Dudinha had a couple good moments, especially in that first half. I don't know if you.
Yeah, no, she did. She did.
She had some good dribbles, but then it's like, where's the pass? Where's the cross? No one in the middle.
No one to
doesn't
connect.
really count. Doesn't really matter.
But yeah, NWA says 2025 is going to quite a roller coaster ride. Indeed, it has.
It's
absolutely.
good though. Like Kansas City and Washington final will be good. That's how the finals going to watch. Maybe Kansas City versus Gotham or something, but it's going to be a good final.
Yeah. San Diego Wave will be nowhere near that.
If they are, then playoffs are dumb and sports are dumb.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, so we'll keep talking a little bit of San Diego Wave here in goals, gaffes, and greats. Prediction wise, by the way, San Diego FC, just to update everybody, Chiva is 1 point away from tying me, was it?
Let's see, in San Diego Wave predictions, I have 17 points. Tony has 14 points, and Chiva has 12 points. So he's 2 points away in the Wave predictions, which would mean you have to surf a wave, which is something that none of us have ever done, and it'd be in the cold Pacific Ocean, which
scary.
I don't think a lot of us are looking forward to.
Mm.
And in the San Diego FC category, we got Abraham with 20 points, Tony with 13 points, and Alejandro Chiva Villaseñor with 12 points.
Creeping up.
1 point behind the powerful Tony Sanchez now. So it's going to be close. We're not going to reveal the predictions until next week because
Chiva's in Japan.
Bye week.
Yeah. Bye week, international week. So there's still time to predict. So this is going down to the wire.
It will be.
So
who will walk to Snapdragon Stadium? We'll be close. And it will be. What did we say at the end of the beginning of next year? Yeah, beginning of next season.
First game, probably.
Yeah, first game.
Yikes.
That'll be
okay.
That'll be fun. Maybe make you walk to Coachella. How about that?
Fuck off. No, I'm not.
That'll be the
I'm
first
not,
game. Technically.
My ancients, my ancestors who did that. Doing a scoring winning goal and have her scream for Papi Abe. I don't think Papi is a word in Portuguese.
Portuguese, no.
I would know. I asked her in Portuguese.
I am putting up Kansas City number there. Thank you for leaving. I'm destroying these guys.
Oh, you're the Kansas City of predictions here this year.
Technically, yeah. So technically, wave-wise, I think I'm there. Chiva can still technically beat me if I get every prediction wrong and he gets every prediction exactly correct. Exacto, as I called it. But it's going to be tough. So Salt Lake versus San Diego Wave. What you got? Why did I say Salt Lake? It says Salt Lake in this thing. Damn it.
It says Utah. Yeah, Chiva doesn't know where he's at. He thinks he's in.
They're both technically in Salt Lake, but they're called the Utah Royals.
Yeah,
they share the same stadium,
like the Jazz. Give me a 0-0 tie.
Ugh.
I know that's I'm trying to go against the grain.
0-0 tie. Okay, we gotta ask him too. He didn't give us an answer,
well,
so maybe we should just give him nothing.
Yeah, I agree. He has until the end of this program, because he knows where it's at. The time is actually like 3:00 in Japan, so it's still daytime.
Yeah, I will be predicting.
Yes, yuck, Tony. Yeah. Why not? Why not? They scored their quota 1 goal per month already. Wave win 2-1, says playback. Okay.
I think we see I believe Utah's last result was a 2-2 draw against Chicago. I can see a 2-1 victory for San Diego. After everything we've all said, it needs to start going goals offense. So, I really think that Utah's been just on a weird run and they're good. They've been performing well, but it's just not been the thing. And it's like if you ever need like a switch everything up and break a winless streak, it's got to be now. And Utah feels like a good opponent to do that against.
The time is here. The time is now for San Diego Wave. So with that, we're going to transition to our final segment here, Goals, Gaffes, and Greats, where we talk about the best goal, the biggest gaff, and the greatest great of the week in San Diego soccer. So Goals, Gaffes, and Greats. All right. So I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of gaffes. There is a lot of gaffes. Some pretty strong gaffes. Well, let's start with goal of the week. And some of you guys think, oh, Pellegrino had a great goal. Dreyer had a brace. A good goal by Cascarino. But nay, Steve Philippe, you say it has to be Pellegrino, which, by the way, I called Pellegrini.
You said that a couple times too.
I know.
Pellegrino,
I'm sorry. But 619 Soccer knows where the goal of the week was, because it came last night
Mission Bay High School.
in Mission Bay High School in UPSL SoCal South action. The San Diego Internacional, your girlfriend's favorite soccer team, versus FC Balboa. This is going to be goal of the week, courtesy of Spencer. What's his last name? There's two Spencers. Spencer Hoyle and Spencer 2. Prepare to be amazed. Not by the call or anything. I was still feeling under the weather, but throw in. Typical play. Little looking for that second goal. And a shot from way down. Goal! My voice. Did you see that shot though? From
the
way
30-yard line?
Yes, the 30-yard line. Hey, slow this down. It was an absolute rocket. Oh, cállate, güey. I don't know what I did.
Wow. I will say, nice addition. The little ticker on the bottom, just lots of important San Diego news. Yeah, I love that now there's a ticker on the bottom.
Yeah, it's like ESPN, dude.
Like ESPN, yeah. It's like, wait. I think there was something about the Jill Ellis lawsuit on there too, which is important.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you got everything. It's like there's someone watching San Diego Internacional, like, oh, Jill Ellis is getting sued.
Where did I put this? There it goes. All right. Let me start this over right there. Just the laser shot, this first time. It's beautiful. Pacatelas. Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Philippe, I know you said Pellegrino, but I think you agree. Where does San Diego Inter play? They play at Mission Bay High School. This next weekend, Saturday, they have a match against FC Irvine.
Is it at Mission Bay High School?
It's at Mission Bay High School.
And that will be U.S. Open Cup action.
That's on Sunday because they are insane and they play back-to-back days, Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, so it's pretty tough for them. Like I heard one of the main players and the coach talking, Coach Matt Papal, was like, "Hey, do I count on you for Saturday?" Sunday? Like, you get me for one. So we'll see. La casa de tu novia.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Which one would you prioritize? I feel like you gotta prioritize Open Cup, right?
I would prioritize Open Cup.
Open Cup's cool. I know I doubt San Diego FC joins Open Cup next season. They're gonna play League Cup, potentially CONCACAF champions. So
that's exactly what's gonna happen there.
Which is unfortunate. The Open Cup is cool.
Sorry, 619 Soccer. She got La Morra que juega en la Chivas. Got Matt Damon again. Oh, we'll see you next time. Because again, this goal is undeniable. What are you talking about? If you don't think that's worthy of it, then get that corn out of my face. All right, San Diego gaff of the week. Honorable mention that just dropped fresh from the USL side of things. Actually, not has to do with San Diego necessarily, but USL Championship was here once or twice. Shout out to Cesar H. Football on Instagram. Great and powerful ESPN reporter, local. USL Championship issues forfeit to Las Vegas Lights FC for use of a knowledgeable player. I just like that. Like, it's just fun. Like, a professional team with elementary school gaffes is always great. A second gaff, and this is kind of a story, Abe. I texted in the group chat, and I was rather cryptic about it, where I said Omar Bravo let us down. Do you know what's going on with him? Do you know who Omar Bravo is?
For our fans that might not know.
For fans that may not know, Omar Bravo is the #1 top scorer of Chivas de Guadalajara. Omar Bravo, a darling, just superstar level in Mexico. Scored in 2006 against Iran. Penalty, like, he was, a legend amongst legends.
Chivas striker was a gap this week, not too long ago.
Correct. Another great. However, Omar Bravo, over the weekend, unfortunately got himself into some hot water.
Oh, come on, dude.
And they called him Omar N, just to, I guess, hide his name. But then they released that little. Who might this be? Omar Bravo, top Mexican star. Omar Bravo arrested on child sexual abuse charges.
Horrible.
Not the gaff.
What?
That's not the gaff in its own. Like, yes, that's a gaff. Don't do that shit at all. 100%. Like, be friends with Epstein. Unfortunately, get this man underneath prison. Don't do that. But the part that kills me, Abe, aside from one of my childhood heroes going down this way, is that not too long ago, I met Sean Merriman at an event that also had Omar Bravo.
I remember this.
I've never met/asked for an autograph. And Tony had one of my jerseys that I keep sacred to me.
One too. Like,
it's a used one.
Like, dirty, but not like icky dirty. Like, ooh, that's.
And I was so happy about it because Omar Bravo signed it right there. 2022. And this is useless now. I
Screw that guy.
Like, I've had this jersey since 2003. Like, that broke my heart, Abe. It really did. And on a lot of levels.
Yeah, wash that out. And it out.
Like, raffle it. Okay, dude. Okay, hey, get your Diddy Chivas jersey. Terrible. All right, another obvious, and let's not beat around the bush here because we all know what the gaff. And we're talking about this on the chat too, Abe. I don't think you've been here for end of the year awards, have you?
Yeah, it was.
You last year?
Last year.
Oh yeah, that's right. We rigged it for you again.
What?
Yeah, because you were the journalist of the year. Did you win journalist of the year last year? Yeah, you were. Oh, fuck off. It's a prestigious award. What are you talking about?
I don't do it for the reward.
I do it for the love of the game.
Love the game. Do it for the art. That's
San Diego.
It's in slow motion. Let's not prolong the suffering in such a way.
Back up and onto it. Whistle coming any moment now.
No, it's not.
Back for Kwasi. Into the box. Oh! She did it at the start. She does it at the end. And Kwasi snatches.
Kaylin Sheridan wins San Diego Punto Football's gaff of the week because I don't know what she was doing. I mean, but she lost the ball. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, no, just defense playing a little too high. Crosses obviously coming in, but also it's definitely on Sheridan. Got to be on the line.
In the shadows, out of the shadows. This is a shot cross. Like, it's not a good cross. It's not a shot. And just miscalculated. I don't know. that's just rough. Like, again, I get aneurysms at bad soccer, let alone bad goalkeeping. Like, this is unexcusable. Like, this action, she may have had a great game before and, stopped another 7 goals from going in, but this is the one that,
I'm sure she feels the same.
100%, like 100%. Like, there's nothing that I'm saying that she doesn't already say or feel to herself. So, gotta do better. But that is, unfortunately, San Diego Punto Futbol's gaffe of the week. I felt bad for everybody involved.
It's evil soccer gods. You have a good game, and then you maybe bringing things to the mean, but just tough. Caitlin looked a lot better than Didi Heritage, so it reminded you why she was fired.
She did 100%. Like that is a good reminder of, but Didi is not a bad backup at all. That's probably the best backup that you can probably have. Which takes us now to San Diego Punto Futbol's Grade of the Week. Grade of the Week. You know what? You shut up the loud mouths. People were happy with you, Pellegrino. And I think you deserve San Diego Futbol's goal, a great of the week this week.
We said it all early on with Craig, and now it's Pellegrino really performing at the perfect time, peaking at the right time, melding with this team. Looking good. Potentially could be up there with Marcus Vartson now. I like that theory out of Craig. Also, Marcus Vartson, I think, has to play some minutes before we can truly believe in that theory. But yeah, definitely do it in another game. But yeah, congrats. It was a great week of soccer for him.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he should get the grade of the week.
Because this is San Diego Punto Futbol,
Okay.
we recognize CJ Fodry for his heroics in Open Cup. We recognize Brandon Vasquez when he was in Monterrey and Austin and doing well. We recognize people from abroad, from San Diego, me official, just everybody who is tied to San Diego is eligible for this. So why would we kind of change that and not celebrate a local talent that went out and bet on themselves and were rewarded with a supporter cup championship? Milan Iloski and the Philadelphia Union win the supporters cup in MLS, and look, that's a real trophy. It's not a Baja Cup. It's not a whatever the other silverware that they won so far this season. This is a real trophy. So Milan Iloski right now has the final laugh, but we'll see what playoffs brings for this team. So San Diego Punto Futbol Grade of the Week, Milan Iloski and Pellegrino. People eyeing. People are like,
You giving it to both of them? Yeah.
To both
Maybe
of them.
We should let the people vote.
We'll let the people vote. And if you're biased, then just say you're biased. It's fine. Does that spell Satan?
What supporters? Yeah.
The ghost of Iloski continues to haunt us. Yeah. Spooky season. Spooky season, indeed it is.
Real quick. Something else I just remembered.
Yes.
Portland Thorns retired Christine Sinclair's number, put her up in the Ring of Honor at Providence Park.
This upcoming
this Saturday they did.
Oh,
the Thorns did.
Okay.
There'll be a Timbers game for San Diego FC. Do you think that number stays up?
Yes,
it does.
It does, because it's a real San Diego's. It's a real soccer
stadium.
Soccer specific stadium.
The Portland Timbers, who are now owned by different owners, technically they still have a weird connection they had to sell because of the whole Paul Riley nonsense. Screw that guy. But also, that guy was friends with Tom Penn. Don't forget about that. But anyways,
yes, he was.
Yeah. Anyways,
these are all facts.
They're gonna put Christine Sinclair's number up in the Ring of Honor, and it's gonna stay up. Meanwhile, San Diego FC, and I don't want to blame San Diego FC.
No, it's not on them. It's not.
Alex Morgan's number will be lowered. It's just disappears, Jerry.
It gets put away and then it gets re-put up, and they don't iron it out. And I don't like that. That bothered me. That it's wrinkly now.
I think it's just an issue with new stadiums too is that there's no physical places where ad signage isn't or digital signboard. It's so there really is such few places to put a like retired number like that. Like stadiums have rings of honor where it's like, here's this one area where it's completely empty. We're all just gonna put these numbers or names up here for people that remember. We remember. I remember there were how many people were in the Chargers Ring of Honor? I don't know. I remember back in Qualcomm days, you would see it. And
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah. Or you could just spray paint the jerseys onto the field now.
Oh.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? But in the
San Diego
midfield.
State. But in the midfield, yeah. San Diego State.
Just
has their
Alex
lines.
Morgan's number.
Yeah.
And then Alex Morgan's number is left over during a San Diego
Heck
State
yeah.
game.
Heck yeah. Just sweet revenge on that way.
Yeah, shout out Christine Sinclair. One of the
Tony,
goats.
WWE has been terrible lately. This was a while back, actually. Are you going to Survivor Series? Maybe. Are you going?
Oh, maybe? Probably not.
Probably not. We've been to WrestleMania. I think that's.
And what people are calling like one of the worst WrestleManias, but I don't.
No.
I mean,
For what I know, it's the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
what you went to.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think about those things. Like I am in the WWE 2K entrance for John Cena on the video games. I'm in the video game forever. You're in the video game forever because you were there too. That's how I think about this. It's just like when I'm playing EAFC and you're playing in not Snapdragon Stadium, because Snapdragon Stadium is not in the EAFC, but it is on college. So they have the model somewhere. They're just not using it because it's not a soccer specific stadium. I think about that like, oh, I'm in the little press box. Like I'm in the video game. Like that's technically true. Oh, you're in the video game too. Cool. So good job on us for doing that.
Yeah, it's just wrestling's weird right now. I was at the gym today and I was explaining Rick Rude to my girlfriend, and just like what he would do. She was talking about like, oh, I want to like get ripped like Nightwing, and I was like, I want to get ripped like Rick. That would probably take a lot of steroids. I'm not.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%, and a lot of like roid rage.
Oh yeah, screw that. But he had some pretty funny stories.
Stop following after Mick Foley retired. That's an interesting wrestler to
That's cool,
to
though.
mark. I love that
Yeah.
actually. Like he's in my Mount Rushmore. My Mount Rushmore is the top 10. Like
Yeah, it's hard to have only 4.
okay, top 5. Who's in your top 5? No particular order.
Undertaker.
Mount of WWE because again
Undertaker,
we can go AEW. We
Rey
can talk all this.
Mysterio, John Cena,
No,
Austin.
Okay.
Maybe The Rock.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm leaving so many. Shawn Michaels maybe over Austin, honestly.
Ooh.
Just wrestling wise, man.
But see, they're just in there.
Yeah. Top 5, like you said.
Yeah. See, I got Taker.
Yeah.
I got Mick Foley in there. Shawn Michaels. The Rock. And see, this last one is where like I
You
struggle
can go someone new,
because
someone
I
old,
can
yeah.
no, I can go Eddie Guerrero, or I have to put Stone Cold. But then top 10 expands to Bret Hart, into Kurt Angle, into just different sorts of even you know what gets underappreciated? Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is one person that's going to be like, wow, I can't believe we had that for that long. Him or The Miz. The Miz is actually underrated. Excuse me?
Name a match.
Name a match? WrestleMania 37. 27.
Okay, but he was
He was concussed the entire time. The entire time in a main event. And beat John Cena. He's beat John Cena in the main event of
one match.
WrestleMania.
Everyone else you can name like dozens of matches.
The Miz versus
You can if it's a tag team match, should it count? I don't know. I mean, I think all of his tag team stuff has been pretty
Miz now.
important, yeah.
That was good.
But
From childhood, Ray, Taker, Batista, Jeff Hardy. That's a new one.
I was always a Jeff Hardy hater. My cousin was like, he would like when you like mess around with your cousin, he was like, oh, I'm Jeff Hardy. So, oh, okay, screw Jeff Hardy then. I'm Matt Hardy.
Yeah, Matt Hardy was always kind of my favorite. because I saw him more on SmackDown.
Yeah, me too.
But then growing up, I was like, oh man, you're kind of a dick to Lita. You kind of deserve that. But nobody deserves to get cheated on by a rated R superstar, Edge. Is your kimono, first of all, what kimono? A cross between Dragon Ball and Demon Slayer? It's whatever Walmart sold that day. Mick Foley, Stone Cold, Andre the Giant, the Hulkster, Rock Taker, Bret the Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, best heel ever, Generation
Well, how about
X.
best tag team?
Best tag team? I mean, you got to put the Hardys up there for sure. You got to put Demolition. You have to put DX for sure. I'd put Nash and Hall because of their work in WCW. I would throw in, and here's a crazy one. What's his name? B. Brian Kendrick and Paul London. That was a great tag team. Great tag team.
No Young Bucks?
And okay, well, wrestling. Okay, we're going. Just,
I mean, it's everything. It's all part of it. I think.
Okay.
Me, the Young Bucks have.
Yeah, have to be on there.
In my top five.
Yeah, they've done enough for the wrestling business. The Rock and Sock was good. A tag team, like just pure tag
MVP
team.
and Matt Hardy.
MVP and Kane.
And Matt Hardy. No, MVP and Matt Hardy were some of the best tag teams ever.
Kane and oh dude,
And
rated
Rob Van Dam.
rated RKO. Rated Edge and Randy Orton.
It's not, I don't think of them as like they have such individuals.
The New Day.
I'm probably not watching enough to properly enjoy their work. They have some great for sure.
Deuce and Domino. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Ooh, the Mega Powers. I mean, literally earth shaking. Well, it was a handshake. They do a handshake. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, thank you for watching. Shout out to you, Mike. Shout out to you, Victor. Victor's the gentleman who always says hello to us at Snapdragon Stadium in the post match.
Yeah.
Incredible gentleman. Great work. Jimmy Snuka. Are we doing
just name?
No, we're just naming top WWE criminals. All right, Jimmy Snuka. By the way, these Chris Benoit. Have you seen the AI videos of him? Has he been convicted of it though? Innocence doesn't mean innocence. I know it, but not okay what he does. All right, goals, gaps, and greats. WWE talk. Survivor Series, San Diego. That's going to be the end of Two Balls and a Mic today. Thank you for joining us. And we thank the CHROMANIACS, Craig and Elston, but Craig and Alex. Thank you, Gabe, for coming in person. I know it's different for you to be there.
It's cool. I like it.
I like it.
I gotta play. Next time I'm gonna dress up like Chiba.
Okay, layer up. San Diego Football is the name of the game. Check everything out. Thank you for joining us. Philippe, thank you for joining us. Playback, thank you for joining us in the chat. You guys are the best. You gotta go sleep. Bye.